The clock now ticking away on test. Can turn my attention to repairing the minute hand. So you can see it's had, this is actually a bit of another hand I think that's been, looks like brazed on to a broken original section. The hands are the correct style and a match for each other, it's just that tip that's wrong. So first thing I'm going to do is to scrape all of this black paint off and see what we've got underneath to work with. There we go, that's what's underneath the black paint. I've just scraped it off, and that's a pretty original hand. That will just need a bit of a light cleanup and re-bluing. This one is the one that we've got to work on, which is again pretty original. It's actually soft solder, and I will heat that up, get rid of it, and see what we've got to work with. Here are the hands in style. Here's what we're left with now that we've taken the old piece off. As you can see, it's a fairly simple job. I've just got to make up a new tip like that, but smaller, and I'll hard solder it on with a sort of a lap, so that hopefully the joint is not going to be particularly visible after the hand is blued. So that's the next job, and I'll come back when I've got that tip soldered on. Here's the repaired hand. I've hard soldered a tip onto it with a sort of a splice so that the joints overlap. So hopefully there will only be a very small little slither of solder visible when the hand is blued. And the style is appropriate to the other hand. And the length also correct for the minute track for the hand. So I'll blue those hands, and that will be that part of the job complete. The dial is in very good condition. It's been polished back with some brasso at some stage, so none of the original silvering is present, but the aging is actually very nice. I'm going to try and retain as much of it as possible. The waxing is not in bad condition. It's starting to break up a little bit, but I don't want to re-wax the whole dial, so I'm going to try and localize the repairs. This is the worst bit here in the number 12. So I'm going to try and just drop a little bit of a little sort of chip of wax into there, and then I'm going to give it a light clean and resilver it and see how it looks. You can see, looking at the back of the dial, the evidence of the brass, so as it's crept around the back of the dial. It's fundamentally a lovely colour, the back of the dial. I'm going to just try and retain that as much as I can. There's the completed dial. I have washed, cleaned and waxed the back side to get rid of the brasso residue and loose dirt and things, and to protect it for the future. And the front, I've repaired the losses in the wax, in the numerals, and I've given it a light clean and then silvered and neutralized and then waxed with Renaissance wax. Just turning up a nice little collet for the hands, one of the last jobs. Just before the movement goes back in its case, I'm just getting the timekeeping somewhere near. I made the pendulum rod slightly too long, so I do have to just trim the end of that rod off a little bit, but I'm just tuning it into to its target rate at the moment. So when I get it to its target rate, I will just trim off that bottom of the pendulum rod and put the movement back onto its dial and into the case. here's the completed movement and dial, ready to go back into the case.